right, y'all, we back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions. And right now, the Pooh Shiesty situation just got worse. Let's get caught up.
At one point, Pooh Shiesty looked like the next big thing out of Gucci Mane's 1017 records. Riding high off tracks like Back in Blood, his debut mixtape went double platinum, and everyone expected that when he walked out after a 5-year bid, he'd come back hotter than ever before. But just months after announcing himself back with First Day Out, Pooh has allegedly thrown it all away again, this time by robbing his own label boss. A classic case of when keeping it real goes really, really wrong.
Yeah, his name's Shiesty, gang. Shiesty, he's standing on everything his name is. Which, that just got his stupid ass cooked. Y'all know it's all type of niggas around. Pooh Shiesty, y'all gonna rob this man with a white man, cameraman, the policeman. Everybody was there.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
You is goofy.
It's your boy Wildest, and this is why Pooh Shiesty might actually be cooked. Back when he first emerged, it was obvious that Memphis's Pooh Shiesty was no stranger to the wrong side of the law. In fact, he talked about it pretty openly in interviews, claiming it was why he began rhyming in the first place.
This like right before I got signed too, I was down bad, just out of jail.
Yeah.
Police took everything from me, so this how I started it off.
How long you did?
No, I just got locked.
Oh, okay.
Got right out, bonded right out.
Yeah.
They raid, it was a raid. Bro, it could be one person on your team take the whole camp down.
All it took was one track for trap legend Gucci Mane to hear enough. And just like that, Pooh Shiesty had a home at 1017.
So he just sent you a DM?
Yeah, he texted me, he said, "What's up, home?" I couldn't believe it. I grabbed my phone, get up. I pushed somebody up on me. I said, hell no, this shit ain't real. Text him back, I say, "What's chopping?" He text back. Right then and there, like he was on it. He was waiting on me to text back. He was like, "I'm fucking with your music, huh? Who you doing this shit with?" No, I put my clothes on, shoot to Pop's house. Then my manager, I wake his ass. I said, "Wake up, bro, look." I showed him, he couldn't believe he get the sweat. I FaceTime him right there. We was on FaceTime for like 6 hours.
Word.
What did he hear of yours?
This a genius, he a genius. But I'm gonna tell you what song he heard.
Look how he showed them flowers, man. He a genius. Now, what all changed? When did he not become a genius to you?
Show, Mind Slime. Yup, Mind Slime did it for him, and that was the only song he heard.
From then on, Shiesty was always ready to salute his label boss for all he'd done for him and the culture as a whole.
Gucci don't get no credit he really deserved. You might feel like he started somebody or put these artists on first, but he really did like way more behind the scenes than he don't want knowledge for. Like, dude, a mastermind. It get to the point like, I'm thinking it's his industry.
Given the opportunity he'd been afforded to change his life, it seemed like Pooh wanted to channel all his energy into his career as a rapper, extracting the aggression that he once let sweep into the streets and reserving it for the booth.
Them days is behind you now, cause now you get to write and rap and tell stories about it and get paid for your verses now.
Exactly. It get to the point, Shiesty man don't even rap no more. I just want to talk about it. I just hold up everything I got to when I go to the studio. Talk this to the mic.
There you go. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
But in practice, this wasn't really how it played out. And not just because he insisted that he had no problem engaging in the kind of self-snitching that regularly gets MCs into trouble these days.
Legally, they trying to say courts, they try to use people's lyrics in, different cases and things like that. When you see that, does that kind of make you think about your lyrics and want to change things up?
Yeah, it do, but it's just me. I don't be caring.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm gonna say it.
You just gonna go?
Yeah. They don't have to come get me.
I hope not, man. We want you around. I need the, you know what I'm saying? I need Shiesty season part 2.
Within months of exploding onto the scene, the law was already closing in. First, after he discharged a weapon at the King of Diamonds strip club over some dropped money, then after a 2020 armed robbery in Florida left 2 people shot. To avoid the maximum, he took a guilty plea on a firearm conspiracy charge. He still could have gotten 8 years, but walked away with 5 in 3 months, eventually being released in late 2025. Back on the outside, he was linking back up with Big 30, with rumors swirling around that he was dating India Love. All signs pointed to a man soaking up his freedom, or at least as much of it as house arrest would allow. While in interviews, he spoke about a renewed purpose that would suggest that he wanted to stay on the straight and narrow.
Can't miss opportunities. We taking advantage of all opportunities, and we trying to be bigger and better in all aspects, rebuilding like community, rebuilding like the youth, giving them a chance, show them ways that most people won't show them, get them traits or jobs or scholarships, whatever it gotta be.
Even though he seemed eager to be a CEO, Shiesty suggested that he still had a lot of love for guwap, claiming that his own post-prison life was inspiring to him as he began to map out a life away from the pen.
The way Gucci came home and like, that motivated me too, because like, you know, I took notes from there, like how he switched it up, how he toned up, you know, got fit, got his mind healthy, like they motivated.
So where did it go wrong is what I'm trying to figure out for him. Like, why? This is him fresh out. And you still praising Gucci right here. You praising him. This doesn't give energy to somebody who got out and want to get out of a deal. Unless you being a fake nigga, a shiesty nigga. Unless you being shiesty. You know what I mean? Because you praising the nigga.
Motivated me to move how I'm moving like toward today too, so got sobered up. I realized that he woke up when he was in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really woke up. And another thing he told me too was like, Shiesty, you 20 years old going to go see what I saw at 35 years old. You know, you got a head start as long as you got this out the way first, you know.
Once out, Shiesty wasted no time making it clear he wasn't done. And on his first track in half a decade, he said exactly that. I can't fumble shit. The whole world been waiting on it. The fact that it charted proved the audience was still there. But whatever good intentions he had didn't last long. Things got dark, old habits crept in, and before long, he'd allegedly pulled a pistol on the very man who once gave him a shot.
Wow. Crazy,
Rapper Gucci
man.
Mane was allegedly ambushed and kidnapped inside of a Dallas music studio. Federal prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty and 8 others orchestrated the whole attack. Investigators say it happened in January, tied to an effort to break a contract with Gucci Mane's label 10.
This shit still sounds unreal. Like kidnapping and holding Gucci Mane hostage. This shit sounds crazy, bro. Like, what? This is crazy. Like, you gotta be a burnt out motherfucker to think you finna do that and get away with it. You are burnt, bro.
17 records. So the group allegedly used an AK-style weapon to force a victim to sign release paperwork. Prosecutors say Rolex watches and cash were stolen, and one victim was choked unconscious. But authorities say the suspects left behind key digital evidence, including ankle monitor data and social media posts showing off some stolen jewelry. All 9 suspects now face federal charges. Pooh Shiesty could be looking at life behind bars.
Before the full details of what happened in January came out, the first reports were that a group had raided Gucci's home in the Memphis suburbs of Cordova. This followed months of speculation that Shiesty was in some kind of trouble with the law, but it took until late March for the details to begin to bubble to the surface. Reportedly, Pooh Shiesty and 9 men, including Shiesty's father, met Gucci Mane in a Dallas studio under the guise of a business meeting. Once they got there, it was alleged that someone pulled out an AK pistol, demanding that Pooh be let out of his contract. Once authorities had everything they needed, the men said to be involved were arrested on charges of robbery and armed kidnapping. After they had all the suspects apprehended, the feds spelled out their case during a lengthy press conference.
The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And
his father is his manager, by the way. So this is going to be an interesting one to hear the full rollout when it's all said and done, how this came about, who really partook. Because 9 people as a collective partaking sounds like a lot. So did all 9 really partake? What was the initial? Like, it's all going to come out in trial. They're going to break it all down, and we're going to hear the whole shit. Like, how long did they plot on this? Or was this a spur of the moment action? Was this something y'all been sitting on and mapping out and having conversations about doing? Like, let's really get to the bottom of it, man. This is going to be interesting.
Described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims.
And immediately, there was little to no sympathy for the rapper or his father from the public. Pooh might be the dumbest guy in history. Dumb and Dumber, Father and Son edition. Shiesty threw his career away not once, but twice. Upon announcing the charges, the Fed spelled out some of what they had in terms of evidence.
Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least 2 of the defendants.
And for those hoping for leniency, they let the defendants know that they intended to prosecute them to the full extent of the law.
This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice.
As the news broke, more and more information emerged, including the fact that Pooh reportedly spoke to the authorities himself just minutes before it went down. In the documents unveiled by the feds, they claim that the victims overheard Pooh talking on his cell phone, potentially with a probation or parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him the permission to be out for rec time. If you're wondering why they know anything about the assailants from the victims, well, that's where things get really complex for the hip-hop audience, because apparently the feds were aided by Guwap himself. With the release
this is what nobody expected. This is what nobody wants to hear, and nobody wants to accept. Gucci Mane. Everybody like, nigga, y'all know he's older now. He's a businessman. He's this. That's my stance too. I don't want to look at him like, I get, it's 2 sides. I get why everybody feel that way based on his come up, how he was his whole career, based on his music. So they still perceive him as a street nigga. But let's be realists. Let's be realists now. Look at his life. Nothing he's doing is a street nigga. So that's where it gets conflicting, you know? And now you are put in a situation at 46 years old. This isn't the 20-year-old Gucci. This isn't the 30-year-old Gucci. This is the touching 50-year-old Gucci. You're 46. What are you finna do? Now this is big business. This is big business right here. This is your #1 artist. Hottest song out, one of the hottest songs. Now, do you stand on your street principles and not say a word and lose your money, or potentially I don't think you're gonna lose it. You're still gonna get paid off this nigga. But or do you say, fuck that, nigga, they tried to rob me, fuck them niggas. I'm a businessman, so be it, and move on and just keep doing your thing in music. What do y'all think Gucci should do?
Released paperwork suggesting that RD, aka Roderick Davis, described Williams Jr., Shiesty, as wearing a black Nike brand Shiesty mask, along with a black hooded shirt and black pants during the offense. Suddenly, the story shifted. It wasn't just about what Shiesty had allegedly done, but what it was doing to the image of a man long regarded as one of the culture's most respected OGs.
Shit crazy, bro. It's the Gucci Mane too! In a way!
And the minute that they sensed weakness, he was being put on blast by other former signees, such as Asian Doll, who suggested 1017's hiring policy is designed to exploit. This seemed to imply that Shiesty had to do what he did to get what was his. Anybody that's ever signed to 1017 have to get everything on their own. Nobody gets shit from that label. They take, they don't give. That's facts. If you become a millionaire, you did that shit on your own. And once you succeeded, they come to collect. Facts. They ain't never gonna drop me from shit. I had to fight to get out of my deal. Gucci did not want to let me go. I was the first female at 1017. Facts. First female ever signed to him. I was 19 and it was the worst decision I ever made in my life. All of them other bitches after me was signed out of spite and they know it.
You know what's crazy? Everybody, that's a recurring thing. Everybody who was signed to Gucci all has the same thing to say about him and his label. They hated it. It's not one artist that's like, I love being with 1017. Every artist hates it, or if they was still signed, they wants to get out of it. Like, damn. And for your #1 artist, this is your #1 artist who's actually moving a needle. For him to want to get out of it, that says a lot, y'all. You got to really take that into, like, you really got to Let that sink in, man. For your #1 artist, while you got a hot song currently out to say, I want out the deal. Really think about that. Niggas who got good songs that's going crazy, usually they're happy. Like, oh yeah, nigga, they doing their job. Radio doing their job. But for somebody to be like, I want out this motherfucker while my song is on fire, damn, you gotta be fucking up big time, man.
Still, even with the likes of Asian Doll using it as an excuse to air grievances, the question remained as to why this went down in the first place, and a few theories were floating around. With the intel he had, Charleston White believed that the relationship soured because Guwap had profited from Pooh during his incarceration without any plans of giving back.
His mother says that Gucci made $24 million while he was in prison. Didn't give him one brown penny while he was in prison. When he came home, he didn't get nothing. So they called a business meeting for him to fly to Dallas. He came to Dallas with his white boy cameraman, his off-duty police officer, security guard, and Pooh Shiesty, his daddy, and about 7 other niggas kidnapped him, robbed him, kicked him in the ass.
But why'd they do that to Gucci? Why'd they do it?
Well, they were mad because they feel like he made all that money and didn't give them none. And he showed up and said he couldn't pay them because they were broke. So they forced him at gunpoint.
24 million. If that's true, that's crazy. If you made 24 million off me while I was in jail and then pay me $1, that makes all the sense in the world why you're going at this level crashing out. That if I'm a real crash out, which I got a reaction out right now. Y'all can go check it out. The backstory of the family of Pooh Shiesty if you haven't watched it. But you can see starting since 11 years old, Pooh Shiesty has been a crash out. He's a fucking crash out. So if ever a time for me to crash out, he done crashed out for worse. But if ever a time you played me, nigga, with $24 million and then give me $1, I'm fully crashing out on you. So that makes sense if that's the case.
To sign to release him from a contract.
So how did this all come out? How did Pooh Shiesty, how they end up finding out?
Because the feds had him on a leg monitor, so they followed him and watched him do it, just like they watched the mob people commit crimes.
Others, such as academics, speculated that the issues might have stemmed from the death of Shiesty's cousin and fellow 1017 signee Big Scar from an accidental overdose, a situation which Guwap was apparently insensitive about.
He's unhappy about how Gucci discarded or seemed unemotional when Big Scar, who is Pooh Shiesty's cousin, passed away. The story behind that goes, before offering to pay for the funeral, Gucci calls and says, hey, yo, I know he just died. All them 1017 chains I gave, gather them up. I need them back.
Shut the fuck up. Ain't no way. Oh, hold on then. If that's so, nigga, you fucked me over. Nigga, if that's my cousin, I love my cousin, that's how you, when we mourning his death, you call me and say, hey, yeah, hey, all them chains, I need them back. And he just died. And he signed to you, and we're not talking about the funeral. Do your family need help? Is your family straight? That's not the conversation we having. Instead, we having, I need them chains back. And I'm going to crash out? Oh, yeah, I'm going to hold that in the back of my head if I'm not going to do something today. That's going to be in the back of my head, nigga. Oh, so it's probably been a big buildup of shit, y'all, that we just don't know about. That's what it's starting to feel like it's been a buildup. Okay, you making $24 million and not paying me $1. My cousin dying, I was signed to you. You fucking him over while he was signed to you. And then on top of that, nigga, when he die, you don't help with the funeral. You don't ask about the funeral. You come with some selfish, I need the chains back for my dead cousin. Oh yeah, it's a buildup of nigga, I hate this nigga. I don't fuck with this nigga. And I can see why family would get involved. Fuck that nigga. And then you playing me. And then I'm probably asked you for something when I got out of jail. What's to say I didn't ask you for something we don't know about? And you got at me sideways about some shit. Oh yeah. Gucci might be a fuck nigga. We might be overlooking the fact that Gucci is really a fuck nigga.
Give me them back. Give me them shits back. The family who was in grief, they're like, oh, that's the first thing you care about, huh? Yeah. Gucci then later offers to pay for the funeral, but even that becomes a little bit odd. Apparently it was like, oh, it was about to be 10,000. It was like, well, 10,000 can't bury nobody. Well, They can, but like, this is a guy who's well loved and they want to go over the top because.
If any of that is true, it would suggest Guap forgot his own words, because on his first day out, he famously rapped about having a pack of hungry wolves, warning that if he didn't feed them, they just might turn on him.
Be honest here. It appears that all of these guys cooperated and identified these people as being present during the offense. Gucci and the cameraman identified his Instagram account as CEO Big 30. Okay, so with all due respect here, no diss to Gucci. I love you, Gucci. Don't know if you're taking a stand, but Gucci's doing the identification. He's doing what I would do. He's doing it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'll drop a dime on a nigga, bro. Yo, that nigga live right here, man. Hold on, like, yo, this is his girl right here. Yeah. He fucking side bitch over here. Yup. So
yeah, he snitched, man. He snitched. Yeah, it's official. He snitched. This is bad, bro. It's over, man. It's over for Gucci, man. As far as like that claim to fame that she once had, hang it up, bro. But I feel like for him to do that, he knows that. Gucci ain't dumb. He knows that. He knows that claim to fame is done after this. And I think he's ready to take what comes with it because clearly he's simply about the money. He was going to lose a large sum of money over this, and he put the money before his ethics. That's what it breaks down to.
Shout out to Gucci, man. Shout out to Gucci.
But that's probably not the endorsement that a hardened street legend like Gucci really wants. Still, he was similarly supported by the likes of the Joe Budden podcast, remarking how it's been a long time since Gucci had been in that life, and now he's got a lot more to lose.
This man he did exactly what he was supposed to do. The goal is to get home to your family. So yeah, y'all got the drop on me. I give all this shit up. I wasn't here on no street shit. I'm not in no street shit. I am not in the streets.
But Gucci didn't say it was so-and-so
They
directly.
just said,
he just said it was somebody in black, right?
Well, from what the paperwork says they listed three names and it said helped identify. Interpret that however you want. I don't care if he went there and said him, and him. I'm not in the streets.
I'm old enough to be having significant health issues that me and my wife have been public about on interviews.
He was also shot some bail by Finesse 2 times, with the rapper claiming that the fact that Gucci had a former cop on the payroll means that he'd likely be the one to provide the information to the authorities, not Guwap himself.
I work for Gucci full time. He was like, but anytime I ain't working, I provide you my services because I'm an off-duty officer.
And that says a lot right there. That says a lot right there. What street nigga you know is with a police officer or off-duty officer every day they move around in their life? What street nigga is with a police officer, off-duty, on-duty, any type of duty? If you a real street nigga, you're not walking around with a police officer. That's water and oil, bro.
And I'm a retired police officer. That's what he said. I'm a retired police officer. With that being
and police officers be crooked, sure enough, but still, those two don't go hand in hand, man.
Gucci been having the same security guard for a while. So if I don't know what the going on, but if a move got put on WAP or however it went, I don't think it's WAP the one that's talking. I don't think it's WAP the one that's pressing the issue. That man 50-something years old. He got a wife and kids and family and all that old shit. You can't really tell him what to do. Gone, motherfucker.
That said,
where the fuck that cowboy had a mustache come from? That shit got that nigga hot.
not everyone is so willing to let it slide, and some are suggesting that Gucci had violated the rules that he's supposed to be governed by. These dudes got every excuse for that lame shit. He could have not said anything and still handled the shit. Nah, don't pedal back for Guwap. As a street dude, he was supposed to stand on business. Others, like ATL rapper and former drug tycoon Rollo, suggested that while he wouldn't have snitched or even spoken to the authorities if he were in Guwap's shoes, the person who'd done what Pooh did wouldn't be breathing anymore.
They say that if Gucci Mane would have took matters into his own hand and let's say had Pooh Shiesty and them taken away from their world, everybody would be calling Gucci Mane so stupid for right now. Whatever happened is Pooh Shiesty and them fault. Start with the problem.
Well, in my opinion, if somebody would have did that to me, I would have sent them to God. I would have sent them straight to God. That's what I would have did.
Yes.
No matter where people landed on the situation, it's evident that no one is particularly happy about it. For Pooh Shiesty, it's another opportunity squandered. While for Gucci, he's having his name dragged through the mud in spite of the fact that he appears to be the victim.
My DM Rose, what you think or how you feel about
the Guwap Pooh Shiesty situation. I don't like it for either side. You know what I'm talking about? Guwap most definitely didn't deserve that, and I don't want to see this for the little homie Pooh Shiesty, but this is when niggas gotta be educated and understand. In business, you gotta negotiate, my nigga. You gotta negotiate. If you were signed for 100K and now you got 10 M's on the table, it's time to negotiate. This how we do this.
There you go. That's game right there, see? That's what you need. You need niggas like that in your corner, niggas like that. That's the problem. When you don't got niggas who don't understand that in your corner and they in your ear, they gonna have you handle shit the street way. In business. This isn't the streets. This is business, nigga. In streets, there's protocols and ways you handle things. Same in business. There's ways and protocol you handle stuff. Like, nigga, get you a good lawyer, negotiate. You got the money. Negotiate. Y'all gonna come to terms that make sense. I get it, but you can't go up and raising a gun in a nigga face, robbing them. This is not the 90s, man. You can't do that, bruh.
Boom, 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 boom. Everybody win. Let's go. That's how I gotta go, my nigga. You can't muscle your way out of no shit and no business.
Right.
It don't go that way.
Right.
And I ain't just talking about on the people's side, but on the other side, the blitz gonna come. You can't run from it, homie. That's the way it goes.
Even though this situation looks pretty grim at the moment, Pooh's team believed that not all hope is lost. Although his client is still behind bars, Bradford Cohen told XXL that the feds are overextending themselves. We are still evaluating the alleged evidence against Mr. Williams Jr. at this time, it begins. After the bond hearing on Mr. Williams Sr. and the testimony we reviewed, it appears that there is a significant gap in the statements made by the government and the actual evidence. As such, we have been reviewing those issues in anticipation of Mr. Williams Jr.'s bond hearing. When pressed on it, the feds themselves struggled to say that there was any hard evidence.
Surveillance showing either man possessing a gun or threatening anyone, and Hobbs said no. He also testified that no concrete evidence was found in Wright's car or Williams' homes when they were arrested. But even so, the judge ruled there is still probable cause for both men and all defendants who appear today based on cell phone data, outside surveillance video, and victim statements that stand uncontested. Right now, we're still waiting for the detention decision, so we're watching to see whether they'll be held or released as we move forward.
And according to Big 30's lawyer, the star witness, Gucci Mane, maintains that he won't be participating in any investigation.
We've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that...
Okay, so he came out publicly and said it. But he dropped a song that basically said a lot. We about to do that reaction. It's going to be dropping right here on ABP Reactions as well.
Last week, we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident.
However, attorney Mo Gangit
got
offered
action.
his professional opinion, arguing that it might be someone who isn't indebted to the streets and can testify without a second thought that'll be the key factor in the situation.
They say that the security guards try to barge in, and when the security guards barge in, they get a peek and they see that they're outnumbered by the armed target suspects. It does not say that they are outnumbered by an armed Pooh Shiesty. Instead, they lump Pooh Shiesty in with the whole group of target suspects, suggesting that the security guards only saw other people, not Pooh with the gun. Later, where it's alleged that Pooh has the gun, he's allegedly holding it to the back of the head of one of the business people. And so, if there's anybody here other than Gucci who seems like they could put Pooh away, it's going to be one of the business guys. And so that's going to be ultimately, that guy's testimony seems to tell you where this entire case is headed.
At the moment, Pooh remains in a cell in Texas, awaiting a hearing, and is probably wondering how he got there again. After all, it was only months ago on First Day Out that he spoke of how, I get mad when I look around and my members ain't where they're supposed to be. A whole war going on, I'm stuck in the cage, it drove me crazy. But if there's any comfort to be extracted from it all, is that in hip-hop's typically warped way, Pooh being in trouble once more is only adding to the appeal of his gritty output for many listeners.
Yeah.
Because now, they have further confirmation that it's authentic.
Yeah, authenticity, man. That's what fans love. Authenticity.
Be hard when they live in this shit. I ain't gonna lie.
It do make you
Yeah, when you know they live in this shit.
Because of the hype it's generating, there's even been conspiracies out there that the whole thing is rigged to benefit 1017 in the long run. Hot take. This is going to be the equivalent of Wayne passing the torch to Drake in 2009. Gucci set this whole thing up to make sure Pooh Shiesty solidifies himself as the undisputed boogeyman of rap.
Hell nah. That's terrible. Nigga, hell nah.
Pooh Shiesty's next album might go diamond, and Gucci still gets richer. As much of a masterful play as that would be, the sad reality is that money corrupts all good things. And in all likelihood, that's how we wound up in this situation with Shiesty risking his freedom just to get out of his contract. And now, this alleged hardline bargaining position that he used might not have only failed to get him out of his deal with 1017, but destroyed any hopes of rebuilding his career in the way that it deserved after such a long absence.
All right. Pooh Shiesty, man. This is a wild situation. One of the wildest music and hip hop situations of 2026, man. Strong arming your way out of a contract, attempting to allegedly strong arm your way out of it is wild. It sounds unreal. It's unthinkable. It's hard to believe. Like, who the hell tries that and thinks they're going to get away? You know, it doesn't make sense. And you can only speculate what really happened because, like they said again, the cameras wasn't working inside of the studio. So you can only speculate what really happened. You know what I mean? And it's unless Gucci and Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty starts talking, all we could go off of is what we're seeing, what we're hearing through the cameraman, the police officer. Like, but what really, I want to know what really kicked it off. Like, I can believe like the let me out my contract trying to bully a niggas, but what made you start robbing people? That's the part that makes me scratch my head. Like, how did it escalate from let me out of this deal to give me your change, let me strip? Like, how did it escalate to that? And why would it go to that extent, knowing that it could have just stayed at a contract situation, everybody get up out of there. Now y'all done got like robbery, strong arm robbery, all this shit. Like, why did it escalate to that? I don't know. Again, this goes back to what was boiling and building, you know what I mean, behind the scenes all this time. Like, we don't know. Because everything looked good to us coming out of jail, looked like he was still, like he was happy, like everything was great. He got a hot song, he was getting money, he's buying cars. So everything looked good outside looking in. But it had to be a lot of shit bubbling and boiling behind the scenes to make a nigga go to that extent. Clearly, y'all. So let's see how this happens. How do y'all think this will end? What do y'all think is going to happen with Pooh Shiesty? Will he get free? Will he walk free? Or will they send his ass up that motherfucking, you know what I mean? Up that road, man. 100 years. They talking about giving him life, potentially life over this. Is that too much? That's crazy. Like, you don't got video evidence showing nothing. It's not what you know. It's what you can prove. And we going to see what happens, man. Pooh Shiesty got one of the best lawyers. Let's see what happens, man. I'm going to give y'all 2 seconds to smash the like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.